Hello, everyone, in the Love Left Me Forever audience and of supporters and friends. I'm on my cell phone today. I can talk about 30 minutes. I believe that as far as I can go using this phone as a video camera. I want your opinion on what you think about the video versus the video camera I was using, versus the cell phone. I'm just having issues with the other camera. I've got to get a new camera. I want to be able to record up to an hour. I can't seem to get everything I need to say in 30 minutes, and I think y'all want me to talk longer than 30 minutes. I don't like the long videos because I never liked the dating coach Alan Roger Curry's long videos, hour and 2 hours. But I'm going to try to talk about 30 minutes, so I'm keeping an eye on the timer because that's what I believe it's going to go before the cell phone cuts off. Please give me some kind of comment on what you think about the cell phone. The thing about the cell phone is it makes those little small horizontal picture on a desktop computer, and it does not fill the screen up. I think it does fill the screen up if y'all are watching on a smartphone. So I don't know how many people of you are sitting at a laptop or how many people use their smartphone. I always use a desktop when I'm on YouTube. I don't have this very scripted, but I just feel bad for not getting back to y'all. I'm just going through all kinds of changes. My mood is still up from my sexual encounter on December 30th. I'm still very optimistic, but still I'm having these mood swings going from fear and anxiety, not depression, but just fear and anxiety about having myself out there. And I've been spending a lot of time in bed, sleeping too much, staying up late. Still staying in shape. I got my weight down to about 171 pounds. I weighed 178 at Christmas. So I'm trying to get down to 165 and maintain it. So I'm still working out. But the mood's still there. It's just, this new me, this person I don't know anymore, this excited, positive person. It's just taking a lot of energy out of me because I just don't know who this new person really is. And I don't know what's going to happen in 2025. I'm going to address one thing. There was one person, really a nice comment. He told me not to get one-itis about the woman in Atlanta. And what he meant by that was don't let myself get one-sided. But you see, I forgot about her. I forgot about her. I don't have any plans of recontacting her. I may never. And he's right. Don't ever get to thinking that it's only just this one woman. And so that's what the old Wayne would have done. I would have called her by now. Hey, let's get back together again. And that's called scarcity thinking. That's thinking only this one woman has sex for you or pussy. And that's not the way to go. Alan Roger Curry, dating culture, he warned about scarcity thinking. You have to have an abundant thinking that there are many women that you're compatible with sexually or otherwise. So I appreciate this. I should have wrote down his name, but he's in one of the comments warning me not to get one-itis. And then the other people that supported me telling me to reach back out to her. So both of you are right. You're right by encouraging me to reach back out to her. But right now, I don't have any plans to do so because I don't want to get back to thinking that she's the only woman in the sea. Had a quick joke. It's a true story. My uncle in Georgia, back in 1980, when I was 23, he gave me a lesson on women. He kind of knew that I was chasing girls. He said, son, don't ever get to thinking that one woman's got it all. And I said, what do you mean, Uncle? He said, every woman out there that you see has got that little hole between their legs. The only thing my uncle didn't tell me was that some of them holes are a whole lot bigger. So I'm sure I just crashed and burned on that one. But it is a true story. My uncle did tell me about don't ever get to thinking that one woman's got it all. And they all have that little hole. He did use the word little. So that's where I'm at. His advice is coming true almost 45 years later. In fact, it was 45 years later. So I'm going to be talking about a woman named Tal Swan, S-W-A-N. I posted a link in the information section. She has a video called The Lies That Women Tell Themselves. And also, I think I put the article that you can read. Oh, she is a New Age female, about 40, 41. I've been following her for about 13 years. And she's been married probably 8 times already. She can't keep a man. And she has this philosophy that it's our responsibility to make women safe. And that when she's telling these women, it's not going to work no more. Men are not going to play their role and keep women safe. And she's whining and complaining about that. Now, she had gotten married again about 2 or 3 years ago. She must be divorced again, but she doesn't indicate that. She writes some very good metaphysical New Age articles about trauma and overcoming pain and gaslighting. But she's more of a woman's type of writer. But I have found value in her. But she's whining and complaining in this article that men are refusing to play their role. And it never really was men's role to protect women. Why would we want to protect them? Let me give you just these quick figures, and I've quoted this before. The suicide rate in the United States is 50,000 people a year. In the world, it's about 900 to 1 million people kill themselves. It's 94% men. That means that the 50,000 suicides, it's about 40,000 of you and me that kill ourselves compared to these 8 to 10,000 females. And they always say, well, men choose more lethal means like guns and women choose pills. See, that's bullshit. If a woman really wanted to kill herself, she'd get a gun, or she'd take more pills, or she'd hang herself, or she'd walk out in front of an Amtrak train. The fact that she chose a less lethal means she didn't want to die in the first place. So why would you want to make women more safe? We're the one in danger, not them. The second figure is in incarceration in prison. There's about 3 million American men in prison. There's only about 80,000 women. Why do you want to make women safe? Why do you want to go out and make women safe? You're the one that's in danger. We're the ones that's getting locked up. Okay? And the last figure is 94% of all work fatalities, 94% are men. And you know why? Because men are the firefighters. Men are the people that climb up electric poles, utility linemen, and garbage men, and all kinds of other dangerous occupations that women are not willing to do. But we're still supposed to be the protector of women. And that's bullshit. If you want to protect a woman that you love and she has devoted herself and you and her are in a committed relationship, that's fine. I got nothing to do it. Does that mean if I see a woman in the mall being assaulted by a man or a kidnapping, I'm not going to intervene? No, I will probably intervene, but I'm not going to be doing it from a sense of, oh, she's entitled to my protection. Okay? And then again, I may not. It all depends on the mood. I don't hate women anymore, okay, because I have found my power. So you can read this article by Tal Swan where she's whining and complaining, or why don't you listen to it because you can see her, she's trying to say that because men are not refusing to protect women, women now have to do other things to feel safe. And her premise is that women are more afraid in our society than men are. And she's probably right. I think women probably carry more primal fear as they walk through the world because they're worried about being attacked or assaulted or raped. And I told you the story about the woman I asked out on a date 23 years ago named Darlene. And she yelled at me, "No!" I was just terrified when she saw I was behind her and I was going to ask her out. You think I'm going to protect her? Hell no. So let me move on here and see. I'll talk a little bit more about Alan Roger Curry. I'm going to put a video of him in here too, I believe, in the information section. One young man in here, and I see if I have his name. He's a young fellow. He's a really nice guy. You can't beat K7006, and his philosophy is that the more attractive you are, the better chance you have with women. Well, Alan Roger Curry was not an attractive man. I mean, he was very successful at what he did with women, and some of the most biggest womanizers in society were not attractive. But I can understand being his age. believe in that, and there's a lot of truth in it. Obviously, looks goes a long way. But I'll be honest with you, I was a good-looking guy in my 20s, teenagers, 30s, 40s, even up to 45. My looks didn't do jack, crack, shit for me. Okay? My looks, if you don't have your looks, if you don't have the confidence and you don't have the healing and you don't like yourself, or if you feel suicidal and you just despise the world around you and women, your looks ain't gonna do shit for you. Okay? Even if you attract a beautiful, attractive woman that's willing to have sex with you, you're gonna sabotage it somehow. You're gonna screw it up, scare her off, because of the anger and the resentment that you have towards yourself. So this woman, another woman, the woman I talked about before, Denise Knowles, I had another comment, being nice to her too. She just says she wants me to know that men aren't the only ones that have problems dating or mating and things like that. Well, I'm sure she's talking about herself. I think she said she was 53. So she's probably speaking to herself and feels she's undesirable. But don't really buy into all that. There may be a few women. I don't care at what age a woman is. They have an advantage over men. And they are those women that have a problem. Sure, they may not get... let me tell you what women call rejection. And I wasn't even going to talk about this. Men get rejected all the time. Okay, hundreds, thousands. It depends on how many times you approach, which, I still haven't approached a woman yet since my Mode 1 turnaround at the first of the year. What women call rejection is they didn't get the man they wanted. Okay, they set their sights on a top 8% of the men and they want, and they say, well, I want this guy. He's got the money, he's got the fame, he's got the looks, the sex appeal. But then when they go for him, he doesn't want to reciprocate in the way that she does. He'll fuck her, but he does not want to get into a relationship. So that's what a woman calls rejection. Rejection to a woman is not getting the guy she wants. She don't even think about the other 20, 30, 40, 50 guys, ever how many have approached her in the year, and then she shut them down. Because she's not interested in those lower tier men. So that's the difference. This is what this woman's saying. Denise is saying that women aren't always. There are women who don't get what they want, who don't succeed in dating. They don't succeed in getting the man they want. Okay, so and that's why most men are so desperate for anything they can get their hands on, and I'm not going that route, and that's why I haven't called that woman back in Atlanta, and because I'm not going to go to that desperate state. All right, that desperate scarcity mindset. I was going to say, let's see what else I want to say here. I'm just like, this is unscripted. I just feel guilty that I didn't get back to you here, and I may not go 30 minutes. I may not have enough information. Hang on just a second here. I really thought I had 30 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. I encourage y'all to read Alan Roger Curry. I'm finally glad I can give him credit. Alan died in November, and I had the date pulled up, of 2022. It was the week before Christmas. So I'm thinking he died on November 21st. And I had spoken to him by way of Zoom 2 weeks before. And I told y'all I don't care about Alan's coaching. His coaching toward me was crap. He was very weak. He's good as a teacher. As you can see this clip that I want to put up. He's a great commentator. He's a great interviewer. He's a great podcaster for the most part, except when he goes over 2 hours. But as far as one-on-one coaching, he ain't got it. I don't recall any person on his websites ever coming up and saying, hey, everybody, I coached with Alan, and man, he turned my life around. The women started coming out of the woodwork. So I don't remember anybody giving a testimonial of their success on his Patreon channel. So I'm not trying to slam him, but I'm just saying I didn't see the proof that his coaching was effective. He talked about his coaching was... I did the coaching. It's very expensive. I didn't pay for I got the free coaching because I was a Patreon member paying $50 a month. So I was able to talk to him about 40 minutes a month. But he claims his one-on-one face-to-face coaching where he goes somewhere and he stays with a guy for 3 days and they meet for 3 or 4 days. It's in the thousands of dollars. Well, I don't know who's paying it. And if anybody's watching this that went to his coaching and you paid the thousands of dollars and it turned your life around sexually and with women, I'd like to hear what you have to say about it, because I damn sure have not seen any evidence of his coaching. He's a great author. And I'm reading the 3rd or 4th book. It's self-hatred. It's self-hatred, feelings of unworthiness, low self-esteem that keeps us guys, the guys that had been unsuccessful, from having sex with women or being selected. It's not about your. I mean, let's just be honest. If you're highly overweight and you don't look good and you smell bad and you don't take care of yourself, yeah, your looks are going to be hard to overcome until you get a handle on that. But I've seen some of the biggest, fattest guys in the world with wives and girlfriends. Okay, so I know it's not all about looks, but I'm sorry about this, folks. I just didn't want to leave y'all hanging anymore. But it's our low self, it's our emotions, it's our feelings. Our feelings, it's not our thoughts, it's not our it's our words, it's the feelings that we feel. I can sit here and tell somebody all day, I got $1 million. Well, those are words. Well, I don't have $1 million. I do not have a lot of money. That's something I'm going to have to deal with this year. As going forward. But the point is, those of us who don't have girlfriends, or me in my case, which I haven't had a relationship, since 1986 when I was actually in a dating relationship, I was 29. And of course, then I told you about that sexual experience when I was 40, and that was at a swingers club, a sex club, where you go out and you don't want to go to those. You don't want to go to these swinger sex clubs. They're catered for couples, and all you are is just seen as a nuisance. You're just a single guy on the prowl. That's how they look at you. Okay, so just stay out of that. That's not what you want. I spent 12 years going to them things and got laid one time in 1997 when I was 40. And it just happened to be a single woman out there that was attracted to me. But it's our self-esteem, it's the lack of it, it's fear. It's just feeling we don't have a right to ask for what we want. The other guys, they can have sex. Alan Roger Curry was successful because he had no fear. If he had fear, he was able to push through it. But then again, we're not Alan Roger Curry. He was having sex since he was 17 in high school. He was a high school class president, and women just gravitated to him because of his successful nature. But so we can't compare ourselves to other people. We stand on our own. So I said it took me 3 years. It took me 3.5 years. I think I started watching Roger around the summer of 2021. So that makes 21, 22, 23, 24. So 3.5 years I read his books. I took the coaching. All the coaching I took from him was in 2021 before he died. I probably talked to him 7 or 8 times. So 3.5 years, and I didn't approach one woman in that time because his coaching did not heal my anger or my rage and my depression. So finally, like I said, on December the 30th, it's just like the light came on, and this woman reached out to me on the website, and I had sex for the first time since 1997, and that experience is greater than any amount of therapy, any amount of coaching, any amount of new age techniques, any amount of there's this thing called EFT. You tap on your thumb. You try to tap your anxiety away. Emotional freedom tech, or the Course in Miracles. Getting laid and having a sexual experience is more healing than anything any therapist or coach is ever going to do for you in this world. And so I'm not saying don't go to a coach. Now, I'm going to give you a warning. If this video just cuts off for some reason, that just means I misgauged. I'm at 20 minutes, and I think I got 30. So I'll just go ahead and put it up, and so you'll know what happened. I'm telling you now, in case it just cuts off. I've got to get me a new video camera. I want to be able to record for an hour or over an hour. The camera that I was using was almost a year old, and like I said, I haven't worked in 2 years on Social Security, and I've got to get another job or figure out some way to make some money. I am not very technical at all this. I have a desktop computer, so I'm thinking about maybe getting I just don't like the built-in mic. The built-in mic and the built-in video camera sucks. So I don't know what to do right now regarding recording. I want to be able to do an hour, and another thing I want to talk about, I tried the old way of courting. I grew up in a small town in Florida, and I went to church for 23 years in a small high school of 500 people. My class had less than 100 people. I tried that old way where you ask the girl out and you play that game and you be nice, and it's useless. It didn't work for me. So I didn't even start thinking about having sex with a girl until I was 22 years old. I was in the fantasy where you find a girl and you fall in love with her, and you be her rescuer, and you hold her hands, and it feels good and warm. And I didn't even have sexual feelings toward the girls I was in love with. Okay? And the girls didn't even know I was in love with. I'd fantasize for months that I was in love with them, and then all of a sudden I'd come to school one day and they'd be arm in arm with some other guy got them, and that would hurt like hell. So I didn't have any sexual training growing up. No one talked about it except in dirty jokes. I grew up with the philosophy that women were disgusted with sex. That is how I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church in a small town in Central Florida. That if you talk about sex, they're going to think you're a pervert. That women hated guys, and that if you were that different guy that you didn't hit on girls, they would be your hero. You'd be their hero. And lots of times girls would come up to me and tell me their personal problems about their boyfriends, their star athlete, the basketball player. And he's treating me this way, and I get all this attention from these pretty girls because they knew they could dump all this shit on me because I wouldn't try anything, and I wouldn't. Okay? So this is how I grew up, believing that women had no interest in sex. They're this dainty little sweet thing. And, when I hear a story about one girl got gangbanged by these two guys I went to school with, that just can't be. They're making that up. But then when I hear it happened to the same girl got gangbanged by two other guys, man, all these lies being told about this girl. Well, they were true. Okay, but my mind had this view that women are dainty and sweet and kind and beauty, and yet I didn't get jack shit from these girls. I didn't go to my prom, either prom. I didn't have the self-esteem to go to the prom in high school. Okay, and I had basically from age 18 to age 24, I might have had 6 dates with women. And none of them went anywhere. Okay, they were just basically a date, and when they found out I liked them, they broke off. That was it. They called me up and said, "I don't want to be anything but friends." So I didn't know anything about Mode 1. Once again, I can't beat myself up too much about that because I had no conscious interest in sex. I mean, I was watching. I was looking at dirty magazines when I'd find them. I'd go out and buy magazines, Penthouse magazines and Playboy and Hustler. That's back in the 70s. But you could find these magazines behind Circle K, farm stores, convenience stores. And I snuck over, and when I went over to Tampa, Florida, to an adult theater when I was 18 and watched live porn. That's the only way you could find porn is either through magazines or you had to go to an adult theater. There was no such thing as internet porn or videos. Those didn't come around till about maybe the late 80s, when you could get porn on VHS cassettes and watch them on VCRs. But still, you had to go out and get it, and it was a pain. But so that was the problem. I didn't have any interest. So I'm at 25 minutes. So that is why another book I want you guys to buy and read was Warren Farrell's book, The Myth of Male Power, written in 1988, I think. You need to get that book and read it. It's a red pill book. The red pill, there's a movie that y'all can also watch. Red pill, just Google red pill Tubi, Tubi. Tubi is a free TV channel that you can watch online or on your TV if you have one. So it's just called The Red Pill. And it's a documentary about, and it has that Warren Farrell guy interviewed a girl, a young female who got curious about men, became interested in men's struggles, and she made this documentary. And so I'm still watching it. I've only watched 30 minutes of it. It's about a 2-hour movie. So get that movie, The Red Pill, and you can find it on Tubi. And like I said, it took me 3.5 years to finally see Mode 1 in action, that it works. I communicated my sexual desires to that woman in Atlanta, and she became an absolute animal when her and I got together. So, and that's why I don't feel all this animosity and hatred toward women no more, because currently I have my power, and I hope I never lose it. I don't ever want to go back to the person I was. The only way a woman is ever going to know sexual frustration, I wrote this down too, the only way that women are truly going to know, put a woman in a prison for 5 years. And that means she can't have contact with women either. Otherwise, there can't be no lesbian going on, sex in prison. You let her out after 5 years with no contact with a man or a dick, and she's going to know what it feels like that men feel every waking day. Of course, she's easily going to go out to a bar or somewhere and get laid. But the point is, it would take her 5 years locked up in a prison without any touching or caressing or sexual stimulation. And she gets out, she's going to know what it's like to be a man. So I might let this video camera go. No, I'm not going to let it run out. I want to end right now. Tell me what you think about the quality of this video. It's just on a cell phone, on a tripod. And like I said, I'm trying to get another video camera. It's just this is the money issue, and it's just also the knowledge issue. My mind does not do well around technical issues. I want to share more of my music at some point, but I'm going to go ahead and go now because I don't want the thing just to cut off and not end properly. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this with those links. Thank you for watching.